Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. It is January 2nd. It is Thursday. Lisa Lydia Scott here with this Facebook pause there real quick. Of course, we're live every weekday morning, but it stays on your feed throughout the day, so you can watch it whenever it works best for you. Plus, remember, we make it into a podcast. You can find that at inform.com/podcast. Just look for the Inform Minute.
All right, it's back to school, back to work for most people today, back to reality, new year, and it is cold.
It's January out there. Yeah, lots of single digits this morning. Some spots below zero, even for just your air temperature. There's not a ton of wind, but there's enough to give you that extra little bite. And so wind chill value right now in Fargo at -10. Yeah, that's nice. That's cold. Pockets of clear sky out there, so at least a little bit of sunshine, but also a few flurries. Anytime that there's a burst of flurries today might slightly reduce visibility. I drove through one of those yesterday, and it was kind of like, oh, this isn't great. It's not terrible. Roads stay fine, no accumulation expected, but that is out there. So just with the colder air in place and some clouds, just a touch of moisture in the air, I do think flurries are possible. We turn even colder tomorrow morning. I think all of us are below zero as we wake up tomorrow. High of about 5 tomorrow here in Fargo. 8 today, 5 tomorrow. Not that that's that much colder, but it's colder. I see dangerous cold wind chills Saturday morning, Sunday morning. Wouldn't be surprised to have a cold weather advisory in place for the weekend, where you're looking at frostbite 10 to 15 minutes sort of situation. Sunday morning looks real cold. Right now forecasting -10 for Fargo. And this cold just keeps on going into next week. Overnight lows in the double digits below, daytime highs near zero, either side of zero. I don't have any big snowstorms in the forecast, nothing that's going to really pile up or cause road problems. It's just dangerous cold. You don't want to pop a tire and be out of gas and be stuck on the side of the road for hours in this kind of a cold. So it is obviously worthy to talk about. And then headed back to class today for lots of kids. The bus stop this morning, probably right about now or within the past half hour or so. And then morning recess, even afternoon recess, you're going to need all those warm goodies. It's easy to just kind of shove those things to the back of the closet, especially when we were in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, over Christmas.
And last weekend. And then kind of forget where those things are. And then all of a sudden it's this morning and you're running out the door and nothing's ready and no one knows where anything is. I can just feel all of that.
Are you inside my house?
Yeah, right? Yeah. That was probably lots of households this morning. So Moorhead, when you don't go back until Monday, early heads up that it is still going to be very cold on Monday. So find all of your winter warm goodies. Cold is really it for the forecast. Not a ton of wind, no snow. It's just cold and then dangerous cold every once in a while when you factor in those bitter wind chills. I do have a chance of snow next Thursday, maybe again next weekend. We'll see what those look like as we get closer. Just kind of stuck in this pattern right now of being cold.
And you'll have more tomorrow, but you will also have a road to Frisco
Yeah,
forecast.
because there is a troublemaker right through the middle of the country. Looking like Saturday into Sunday, there's this kind of nasty system of rain, ice, snow. If you're driving from Fargo down to Frisco, you're going to run into the snow and then probably an area of ice in Kansas, and then switching over to rain as you continue to travel further to the south. So not ideal. You're going to need to kind of time out the best traveling. Earlier looks better if you can just be ahead of it and get there before that all happens. Again, looking like Saturday night kind of into Sunday, right through portions of South Dakota, Nebraska, into Kansas. Better by the time and warmer by the time you get to Oklahoma is kind of my general time frame for that right now. This cold continues to spread its way across the country. You're going to hear all about it because Florida's going to fall into, like the 30s or the 40s. And so, yes, it's going to be big news. Dallas, Texas, Frisco, all part of this too. And so temperatures will be in the 60s here for the weekend, but then by game day, Monday, 40s during the afternoon. And then the game's at night this time. So even colder, probably into the 30s. For game time, which means you have 60s for the weekend and then 30s at game time.
So pack accordingly.
You're going to need some of those extra layers come game time on Monday. So we get to share the cold with the rest of the country. We just are the coldest, of course, here in North Dakota, northern Minnesota.
All right, thank you, Lydia.
Thanks.
This morning, we're still working to learn more information on a fight that led to a shooting during a New Year's Eve party at a South Fargo apartment building. Here's what we know right now. Police say an adult was shot, 3 minors were hurt. The accused shooter was underage. Just after 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve, police say they received several reports of gunfire on 15th Street South. It's about a block west of the former Kmart. Police say 2 teenage boys at a party got into a fight in the building's hallway. A neighbor who tried to break up the fight was shot, but is expected to survive. We are working to find that person's name out. And then we do know this, the shooter was arrested a little later, caught in Glendon.
Today, you can toss out that Christmas tree if you'd like. In Fargo specifically, the city's forestry department will pick up trees today through January 12th. Now, there are some rules that you do need to follow if you're tossing it out. The tree has to be 5 feet from your garbage can. Do not leave it in a snowbank, and remove all of the decorations that are on it. Also, the city won't collect any trees left in alleyways, so don't leave them there. West Fargo's tree pickup starts January 6th and goes to the 10th. Moorhead's tree pickup goes from the 6th to the 17th.
Back to school today after a long holiday break.
Yeah.
Kids in Fargo, West Fargo, and Grand Forks are all heading back to class, probably in the classroom already right now. Kids in Moorhead get a few extra days of their holiday break. They don't go back to class until Monday.
All right, big national headlines right now. The FBI will meet with members of Congress today to discuss that deadly attack in New Orleans that killed at least 15 people and injured dozens others. The suspect used a truck to plow into pedestrians on Bourbon Street, and now there's concern about security for other big events in the city. The Sugar Bowl is set for this afternoon after being postponed on Wednesday. The FBI does say that the suspect in the attack is dead, but they are investigating whether anyone else was involved.
Meanwhile, the investigation into a Tesla Cybertruck that blew up in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas is ongoing. The FBI is trying to figure out who rented that vehicle and how it wound up packed with explosives. Authorities say the truck was rented in Colorado and then driven to Vegas. The driver died in the blast. 7 other people were also hurt.
Today on Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, the countdown is on for Frisco as NDSU is in its final preparations for its matchup with Montana State. The big question for the game is how will the Bison try to stop All-American quarterback Tommy Mellott?
All right, lots to talk about there. Remember, now is a great time to get your Inforum.com subscription. All these news, weather, sports headlines all in one place. Just go to Inforum.com/subscribe to check out the deals.
And join us the rest of the day for our full slate of newscasts. Our next one's at 11, then 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And we'll be back with First News tomorrow morning from 5 to 7.
Have a great day, everyone.